Hey, quick heads up if you're thinking about moving to coastal Volusia County. Mortgage rates just dropped to 5.99% on Monday, which is the lowest that we've seen in about 3 years. And that sounds like great news, but there are side effects that people do not realize. When rates drop like this, 3 things usually happen. Number 1, competition increases because buyers are flooding the market. Payments don't change as much as people expect them to change. And prices often react a few months later, not usually right away. So if you're thinking about moving here, this is something you really want to understand. Let's break it down in plain English so you don't get caught flat-footed. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything to know about living in coastal Volusia County, from New Smyrna Beach to Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach Shores, Ponce Inlet, Port Orange, and Edgewater, you are in the right place. My name is Matt Ecoff. This is my beautiful wife, Rachel Ecoff, and we are local real estate experts here on the coast. On this channel, we will talk about the best neighborhoods, flood zones, school zones, hidden gems around town, and what it's actually like to live at the beach. And listen, we get phone calls, emails, text messages, and Zoom invites every day from people just like you that are relocating here. So whether you're moving in 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out, and we'd love to help you make a smooth move to the beach. And make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any of the updates about coastal Volusia County.
All right, part 1, rates are in the 5s again, and this is what people are not talking about out loud.
Yeah, so right now we're seeing the 30-year fixed rate sitting at 5.99% as of Monday. That is phenomenal. Now, that number might not seem scary, but psychologically it's a huge line for buyers. The moment people see the 5 in front of the rate, something interesting happens.
A lot of buyers who are sitting on the fence are suddenly start thinking, okay, maybe it's time now.
Yeah, in fact, the National Association of Realtors estimated that once rates hit 5.99%, that 5.5 million buyers are waiting to jump back in the market with that number alone. So psychologically, it's not that different than the 6% or the 6.11%, but psychologically, it's a big deal. All right, so let me ask you something. What do you think happens when millions of buyers suddenly feel more confident? You start seeing more showings, more offers, more multiple offer situations, especially on the homes that are priced correctly and are move-in ready. So yes, lower rates can help affordability, but they can also increase competition.
That is what you're seeing right now. You're starting to see some uptick in competition.
The last couple of days have been just crazy, honestly. And we just got off another Zoom call from some people moving from Ohio. So, I mean, the phone is ringing. Those rates are a big deal for people. All right, so let's get into part 2, which is talking about the math. What does 1% really change? Because here's where people get confused. They treat mortgage rates like it's a game. And I love games. We played Monopoly last night with our daughter.
It was
awesome.
Great.
Love games.
I won.
You didn't have to tell everybody that. She won this time, okay? I usually win.
I've won.
They play this game though, if I can just wait until the rate drops 1 more percentage point,
then I'm gonna be ready.
Yeah, but the reality is that on a $300,000 loan, a monthly principal and interest difference between roughly 7 and 6%, 7% versus 6%, is usually in the ballpark about $200 a month, okay? So, now don't get me wrong, $200 matters, but here's the question. Would you rather save $200 a month, or would you rather pay $20,000 more for a house because prices increased while you waited?
Ooh, that's a good call. Because that's true.
I'm actually interested in what the audience thinks. So you comment below on what you would think is, you know, $200 a month off your monthly mortgage payment, or paying $20,000 more for a house that increased while you waited. I'm curious what you think, because that's the real trade-off people are facing right now. All right, so let's talk about part 3, which is the 4 to 6 month window that most people miss.
Okay.
Here's the part that most buyers don't ever hear about. When mortgage rates drop, home prices usually don't move right away. Okay, there's typically a lag. What happens first is buyers' confidence go up, which is great. Showings increase, and multiple offers start popping in. I had a situation that happened to yesterday. And then, usually a few months later, prices begin climbing again in the stronger markets, like New Smyrna Beach, like Ormond Beach, like Port Orange, okay? They're probably not gonna go up as much in Daytona Beach Shores, probably not as much in Daytona, probably not as much in Edgewater, but they are gonna go up.
All right, so if you're waiting for the perfect rate, you might actually end up entering into almost like a buyer's competition market.
Yeah, sure, especially for well-maintained homes, beachside properties, houses that are priced well, good school zones, and again, homes that are priced competitively from day one.
All right, so part 4, real estate here is extremely hyper-local.
Yeah, this is what people relocating here need to understand and are often very surprised about. Real estate is not just a national market, okay? There is buyer's market and seller's market all over the country, and they can be both happening simultaneously in different areas. It's hundreds of, let's call them micro markets, even within our area. I mean, Daytona Beach is different than New Smyrna Beach. Daytona Beach Shores works differently and behaves differently than Port Orange. Ponce Inlet is in its own world by itself. Ormond Beach has completely different demand depending on its location, all the way west of 95 versus Beachside. So all of these areas work very different.
Even New Smyrna Beach here, like you've got mainland and Beachside, those are both different markets. I mean, wildly different.
Yeah.
So
same thing with communities. I mean, Venetian Bay's got a ton of inventory in it right now. Sugar Mill doesn't have that much inventory in it right now.
But they seem to like flip-flop with each other.
It's crazy.
It's weird.
Yeah, so when someone says that, oh, well, prices are going up or prices are going down, the real question I ask them is, where exactly? All right, so let's get into part 5, which is the down payment myth. Okay, did I say that right? Myth. That's a fun word to say. Okay, so this is another thing that people relocating ask about all the time. The idea that you must put 20% down. Now, personally, I love 20%. We try to do that on every house that we buy or more. It's strong, it avoids PMI, but let's be honest here for a second. On a $400,000 house, 20% down is $80,000, and that is a lot. All right, so here's the practical side though. Conventional loans can sometimes work with as little as 5% down. FHA can go as low as 3.5% down. PMI isn't always ideal, but it often can be removed later when you build equity in the house or if you decide to refinance when rates drop even lower. So sometimes the smarter strategy is getting into the market rather than waiting forever to save to the perfect down payment.
Okay. All right, so part 6, what actually moves mortgage rates?
Mortgage rates move based on a few things. It's bond markets, it's inflation expectations, it's the Federal Reserve policy, it is the government, and it's mortgage-backed securities. But here's the important takeaway. You can't control mortgage rates, but you can control the price you negotiate, or I can control that price we negotiate, the inspection terms, which is big, the financing strategy, and when you decide to buy, and be strategic on when you decide to buy. And these are conversations that we have with people relocating all the time. And honestly, it's not even relocating necessarily to coastal Volusia. We get calls from people relocating from all over the country to all over Florida, all over other states. We refer out, we have a network of agents that work around the country. And so we have these conversations with not people that are only moving in our market, but people relocating to other markets as well.
Yeah, and I don't think that everybody really knows that. I mean, you know it now, but you have helped tons of people who are relocating to like way different parts of Florida, and you've referred them to some of your closest, some of them are friends of yours, like very close friends, and they've been very well taken care of, and we just want to be a resource for you no matter where you're moving to in Florida. We know our area the most. Yeah,
but having said that, we want to pre-qualify the agent for you. We're trying to pre-qualify them so to make sure that this is the right person for you and make sure that they know what they're doing. Because look, to be honest, there's 80% of real estate agents that get a real estate license drop out of being a real estate agent within the first 2 years. In 2024, almost 80% of agents did not have a single transaction. That's not somebody that you want working with you on when you're relocating, got everything else going on. It's a very stressful thing, so we're trying to be a resource and pre-qualify those agents in a good brokerage. All right, so part 7, I'm gonna get personal for a second. What I would do personally if I was buying right now, okay? So if I were buying in coastal Volusia County today, here's the strategy that I'd follow. First, get fully underwritten, not just pre-approved. Be ready to buy. The cleanest offers often win over the highest offer. Second, focus on motivated sellers. Not every seller is motivated, but the motivated ones are the real opportunities. Third, I'd definitely be watching days on market and price reductions. This is big. This is where the leverage lives, I feel. And fourth, use smart deal structures when appropriate, okay? Rate buy downs if it's available, closing cost credits, flexible closing timeline. Those things can make a big difference and people don't always know they're available. All right, so I'm calling this part 8, but it really is just kind of like a quick disclaimer.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk about capital gains for just a second. All right, so this comes up a lot when people are thinking and talking about selling. Under the current IRS rules, If you're selling a primary resident, you may qualify for capital gains exemption all the way up to $250,000 if you're single, if you file single, or $500,000 if you're married, which is great. But talk to a CPA before you're making that decision, okay? Because this is a fairly newer rule, and I'm not giving tax advice because I am not your tax consultant, but I do want to bring that up.
Part 9. So you're going to round out everything that we spoke about just now. So what is?
Yeah, let's talk about the bottom line. If rates stay around 5.99% range, or go even a little bit further down, which is great, here's what I expect to happen. More buyers are going to enter the market, more competition for the best price houses, and gradual price pressure returning in stronger areas. So price increases in some stronger area. And I see that happening in a little bit of Ponce Inlet. I definitely see it happening in New Smyrna Beach, especially beachside. I see it happening in Ormond Beach. So be ready for those things. All right, so the best advice that I can give is that the best move isn't waiting forever. The best move is being ready and having a strategy. All right, so if you're thinking about moving to coastal Volusia County, reach out anytime. We'd be happy to help build a smart plan around your timeline. And real quick, even if you're not moving in our area, like we just said, reach out anyway. Because listen, we built relationships with 8 great agents all around the country, and we can connect you with someone that we trust in your market and make sure that you're taken care of, because that is the most important thing to us. And before we go, I'm real curious, what frustrates you more right now? Is it home prices or is it interest rates? I really would like to know in the comment. Listen, we get phone calls, emails, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether that be 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out. We would love to help you make a smooth move to the beach. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so you get all the updates and notifications about New Smyrna Beach and surrounding coastal Volusia County areas. Thanks for joining us on this one. We'll see you next time.